Okay, thank you everybody for joining in. This is episode 2 and episode 1, which covered all the basics of salad making, which is, why eat salads, some types of salads, the essential building blocks of salads. All this was covered and it is saved on my IGTV. So you can, once this is over, in case you missed the previous episode, you can always go back and check it out. Even this episode will be uploaded to IGTV. So in case you have to step away for a bit, it's okay, you're not going to miss anything. And secondly, I'd like to thank you all for the amazing response to episode 1 and your lovely comments, really encouraging, and it really motivated me to do better for the future episodes. So, yeah, let's get started. Today's topic is very interesting, and I have a whole bunch of props set out here to show you, so you're not going to be seeing my face all the time. It's all about the essential tools for salad making. Um, I'm going to start with the absolute basic. You literally need nothing to make a salad other than what is already in your house. So, a simple mixing bowl, which is even like a big steel utensil that you may have, is a good place to start. And why do I say big? Because even if you're making salads for one person or two people, if you try to mix the ingredients in a very small bowl, it's going to get crushed and bruised. And already, when we buy lettuce from the supermarket or we order in, the quality is not that great. So if we're going to mix it up in a small bowl, you're going to end up bruising the leaves even further. So freshness is everything in a salad, and the bigger the bowl, the better, and the ingredients are less squished together. So that's the most important thing: is use the biggest size bowl you have, no matter you're making salad for one or two people or more people. The second thing, so now you have a salad and you want the dressing. So for the dressing, again, the most basic thing which you don't have to buy is a simple jam jar or an empty glass jar like this. And you can just save up on whatever sauces and stuff that you buy. You can save a couple of these bottles, and the dressing, all the ingredients such as the oils, the vinegars, the flavoring, the seasoning, everything can go into this. Shut it tight and give it a good shake. This becomes important because when you're making a dressing, and I'll tell you more detail about that in the episode about dressings, you're trying to combine a water with an oil, and it's not an easy process because neither of them want to mix together. So it needs a fair bit of agitation, and the process is called, you're trying to emulsify the ingredients so that they all come together to form a thick and creamy dressing. So this really helps. If you find that doing this for a larger quantity of dressings, it's a bit of a difficulty, you can use the small mixer jar in which you make chutneys, etc. Just put all your dressing ingredients in that and pulse that. So most Indian homes already have a mixer, so that's not something you need to buy. And you can also use the smaller food processors that you get, like the chutney, the masala grinders, spice grinders, or the small sized food processors. You can use that, add all your dressing ingredients. So make use of whatever you have. If you don't have a mixer at home, then you can always get a glass jar. If the small sized mixer jar is there, use that. And in just 2-3 pulses, you get a really thick and creamy dressing, and you can then store it in a glass bottle. And you can also if you're just making for one or two people, you can also make a little larger quantity of salad dressing and save it in the fridge, for which I like these kind of bottles. And you can see that, okay, you have this dressing in the fridge and it will inspire to make your salad. So that's the absolute basic tools. And even if you have just that much at home, you can make salads. The rest of the things that I'm going to show you today, they divided into two groups. One, it is helpful to have them, as in it will make your process a little easier and reduce the workload. And second group is, it's fancy and it's fun to have, and if you're making salads on a regular basis, then it's nice to keep them at home. So it's not like only if you have all these things you can make salads. That's not the case. And for your benefit, I've also curated all these products in an Amazon wish list, which I'll share the link with you. and you absolutely don't have to shop from that. You can just see that and see what you have at home already, and you can, whenever you're planning to buy something, you can buy a similar product or whatever. So just for your convenience, so even if you're not noting down today, you can go through that and you'll get a fair idea of what all is required. But if you are making notes, great. I love making notes, and I think it just reinforces the steps in our head. I've made a lot of notes for my next episodes, so go ahead and make notes if you are. And yeah, in fact, I think I'll turn on comments for a bit because it's nice to see what you guys are saying. It feels like I'm talking to people rather than just to myself. One second. Okay, all right. So, for those of you who've joined in just now, this episode is all about essential tools required for salad making. And right now, I've just spoken about the things that you most definitely already have at home: a big sized mixing bowl, which could well be a steel bowl, or if you even don't have that, most Indian homes have this big wide bowl for making the chapati atta. By all means, use that because is wide and you can really toss a salad nicely. And yeah, the second thing, do you need those fancy things like these salad hands to mix a salad? Not really. This is nice for serving, but to mix, I like to use my fingers because you know just how much pressure you're applying, and because this is such a delicate thing, the leaves and the herbs, and if you're using any other ingredients, when you're tossing it just with the bowl or using your fingertips, just enough how much pressure you're putting, and you're not bruising anything. Of course, when you're serving, you can't serve with your hands, so these are good. And wooden is good in this because after you add the dressing, it tends to be a bit slippery, and now wooden serving salad hands, they kind of have a good grip to hold on to the salad. Okay, now to the fun part. So each of these tools that I'm going to tell you about has some use in general salad making. I'm never going to recommend something which is just like for one use, like a cherry pitter or something like that. These can be used for a lot of other chores in your kitchen as well, and it will be useful in a lot of salads. So it's not like a one-time use thing. So coming to the first in useful to have, and it's not like must have, but it's useful. So the first thing is a citrus juicer, because a lot of salad dressings have lemon or lime juice, and you can use one of those steel or glass that appliance where you just juice the thing, either manual or electric, or you can just use the simple wooden citrus juicer. And because this fits in all sizes of limes and lemons, and you can use that. And you can always use the citrus press, which all of us have at home, so that's nothing new, and it catches the seeds as well. So again, very good for salad dressings, where instead of vinegar you're using lime or lemon juice. Okay. And the second equipment here is a grater, and I'm talking about a very fine grater, which you get these tiny sized graters for ginger and garlic. So one of that is very useful because you always need to add some flavor punch in your dressing, be it ginger or garlic or lemon zest or lime zest, and these tiny graters are very useful to grate the lemon peel, to grate ginger, or to grate garlic. So a tiny grater. Okay, and then coming to a big grater, which is the box grater. It's useful to, if you're making like a carrots grated salad, like carrot, radish, beets, all these can be grated. So one of those, and of course that again is a very common kitchen thing in Indian kitchens. So we use it for our raitas and everything. So that's you can just make a note if you don't have. It's a useful thing to have. And it was just I was just researching these different kinds of graters, and just one trivia that a French chef called Francois Boulier, he invented this grater in 1540, and it was to grate cheese, because in France, the cheese over a few days it used to get harder, and they didn't want to waste. He didn't want to waste it, so he thought he could grate it and use it in different things. So that grater is now literally used all over the world, but it came it was invented by it was invented in 1540. So that's a little trivia about graters. So Number one, citrus juicer. Number two, grater, the small one as well as the big one. Okay. Okay. The third thing is a pepper grinder. Now, you get these pepper mills in which you fill up peppercorns, and you can either twist them, or there's also battery operated where at the press of a button you get a coarsely ground pepper. Now, this is very important because, black pepper is such an amazing flavor. And when you use ready made black pepper powder, that's like you're really not making use of that ingredient, because it is such a dull thing in comparison to freshly ground black pepper, which is literally going to take your salad up by several notches. That flavor is something totally different. And if it were just mildly different, then I wouldn't even be recommending this. But there's nothing like freshly ground black pepper, and it's really nice to, or you can always do it in a mortar and pestle if you have one. Just crush black pepper, and that even in that you can control how coarse, how fine you want your black pepper to be ground, again to be added in dressings. Fourth thing, a steamer. Like last episode, we discussed that not all salads need to be raw. So you can either steam your vegetables, you can roast your vegetables, all this. So, yeah, okay. Regarding grater, I'm sorry, that's the one thing I forgot to get from my kitchen, but I'll post a picture on my stories, the kind of grater I have. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, so steamer, because like I said, sometimes you want to give salads to younger children or older people at home, and they may not be able to handle raw vegetables, especially things like carrots, which are very hard to chew. And even the older people find it difficult to digest. So it's nice to just chop up the vegetables and steam them. So a steamer is good to have. Again, a steamer has plentiful uses in our day to day cooking. So it's not like it's only for salads, and you may already have it at home. And instead of steamer, you can also use a pressure cooker without the weight. Idli steamer, absolutely, you can use that. So this is not exactly a shopping list, but these are the kind of tools that you may already have at home and you can use in your salad making experiments. Okay. Then the fifth one is a grill pan. So, like I said, you can use roasted vegetables, and especially things like zucchini, things like carrots or paneer or tofu. They just taste so amazing grilled, and even visually, the grill marks give it a look of a gourmet salad that you'll have at a very fancy restaurant. So, the difference between raw zucchini and grilled zucchini is just amazing, right? So, you can use a cast iron grill pan, or you even have like in non-stick or whatever it is, and you can also use it to make sandwiches and stuff, on the stove top, which gives great browning as compared to an electric one. So, again, grill pan, multiple uses, but if you have one, do use it to grill vegetables, grill paneer, grill tofu for salad. Just remember that allow the vegetable to grill first and then you salt it later, or just add the salt in the dressing, because if you salt the vegetable and put it to grill, it will start losing all the moisture. And if there's so much moisture, the grill marks aren't going to catch. It will not brown, but it will tend to kind of get soggy. So don't add salt while grilling. And even when you're adding paneer or something, if you're marinating it in something, don't add salt to the marinade. You can add garlic or ginger or anything else. Okay. um, then the next thing is a colander. Colander is nothing but a bowl kind of thing with holes in it and a handle, so you can use it to wash your herbs and wash tomatoes and all that. Okay. So again, that has multiple uses. You usually use a colander to wash produce and stuff, and in fact you can even use the colander as a steamer by keeping it on top of another vessel in which there's water boiling, and cover it with a lid. So again, multiple uses. So a colander is nice to let all the lettuce drain its excess water after washing, etc. Now coming to the salad spinner. Now the salad spinner has a completely, I think that's tomorrow's, that's the next episode is all about salad spinners and spiralizer. So I'll be going into much greater detail there. I'll actually be showing you how it looks, how to use it, what are the different uses, etc. But a salad spinner, to simplify it, is nothing but a round box with it has a fan like thing when the inner basket rotates. So what happens is after you wash all your salad greens and you put it in the inner basket, and the rotation happens either by a crank, or sometimes like a you pull it with a kind of elastic kind of thing that's attached to it. It's not electric, so that dries out whatever the leaves are there, and that dried salad leaves are very important so that the dressing catches on to them nicely. You don't want soggy salad leaves. So that's the salad spinner. And earlier it was not that available in India, and it was frightfully expensive. But now even on Amazon you have like tons of brands selling salad spinner. And again, there are many uses for salad spinner, which I'll be telling you in the next episode, not tomorrow, Friday's episode. Okay. So instead of a salad spinner, make sure you have a lot of cotton kitchen towels, the really absorbent ones. In a lot of in South, you get a lot of these really thin cotton towels which people use for drying their hair, or wiping their hands. It's not the thick turkey towel thing. It's very thin muslin type cotton, and if you have some of those, after a few washes, it's so absorbent that it's really nice to wrap your salad leaves in that and let them dry. So this is not exactly a tool or an appliance, but this is like a very useful thing. You can even use your old cotton dupattas which you're no longer using, because those are 100% cotton and they absorb the moisture really well. So in the absence of a salad spinner, make sure you have some of these absorbent cotton towels to absorb all the moisture from the washed salad greens. Okay. And then you have other things like I'll show you some of these. Some of you were saying please show. I'm sorry I didn't get everything upstairs to show, but I have got a few things. So these are very popular. I hope you can see this. So if you see, this is like a peeler, but it has these ridged blades here, and even this one has these ridged blades here. Now these are called julienne peelers. So when you peel a vegetable using this, you get noodles or strands of the vegetable. So very good for zucchini, long vegetables like zucchini, radish, what else, carrots. So you can use this. And this is like literally I think this one I just found it in Big Bazaar once, and I got it, and I think it's hardly $100. And this one, a friend got it for me many years ago from Thailand, and there they use this a lot to make raw mango and raw papaya salads in Southeast Asian cuisine. So this is very popular there, but this has become more available here. So this available online. Again, I'm going to give you a link to these in my Amazon list, and go check it out. And these are also available in Big Bazaar and all these places. So you will find it in the section where they have their knives and peelers and all these things. So this is nice to make noodles out of any long vegetable. So really nice in Asian salads. You can toss these along with cooked rice noodles, cooked regular noodles, and because it's all the similar shape, it gives a lovely appearance, and you can plate it up like a nice heighted plating on a platter. It looks lovely. And we'll be talking a little more about these kind of salads in the later episodes. So and you also need something like this. This is called a Y peeler. This is nothing but a simple peeler which you remove potato skins and such. And not just to peel, you can use these to make ribbons of carrots, radish, even beets, etc. Because you remove the peel, and then you similarly keep peeling the carrot or the radish, you get nice long ribbons. And again, it's a different way to process a vegetable. It looks good, it looks fancy, and so just, I'm sure you all have this basic simple peeler at home, and you can actually sorry, you can actually use this to make ribbons out of any vegetable. So that's another nice way to process a vegetable, give it a new look. Then, so that was the basic kind of stuff. And then there's this which is called the crinkle cutter. Now actually I discovered this during my soap making experiments, in which you use this, you get a nice serrated edge on the soap. So this is, you know, especially if you've seen in Thai curries and stuff, they use this knife to cut the zucchini, carrots, and tofu and all this. So it's got this nice look. So if you're grilling vegetables or you're roasting them, you know, because this will give quite thick slices, so you can't really eat it raw. So if you're sauteing or you're eating a warm salad, you can use this crinkle cutter. And you also get this as a semicircle thing with a handle. Again, I've linked both of them in my Amazon link wish list. I can share it with you later. So that's the thing. Then coming to this is very useful, and I would really recommend, if out of this entire list, if you should get one thing, I will say get this. This is called a milk frother or a coffee frother, and this is the IKEA brand. And this is the one thing I always get from the IKEA store. When I used to travel outside India, I used to first go and pick up a few of these, but now the last time I got this from the Hyderabad store when I was there. So what this does is, you know, you can make quick dressings using this. Just add your olive oil and your vinegar or lime juice, honey or whatever else you're adding, and use this to blend it up. It takes just like 10 seconds. You get a really thick and creamy dressing, and it's just the most useful thing. But I'd recommend that if you're using it for coffee, then just get another separate one for your salad dressings, because this has vinegar and stuff, and you know, sometimes you may not have washed it very well, and you use the same thing in coffee, it's going to give it a bad taste or make it spoil, right? So keep one of this. If you're using it for salad dressings, then keep one only for dressings, and don't use it in milk. So you know, even just adding cocoa or something to milk and it doesn't mix in well, this is really useful. So but you know, I've researched a lot on Amazon. There are tons of brands, and I've also ordered quite a few, and trust me, some of them didn't even work. Like, it doesn't even move the liquid. They are like so lazy and so no power at all. So I highly recommend the IKEA ones, and they are available on Amazon. The India IKEA's, somebody is selling those products on Amazon, so I would really recommend that. And no, IKEA is not sponsoring this. I'm just telling you because it's no point wasting money on some of the cheaper products, because those are really useless. I have tried and I know that they don't work. So this and my earlier IKEA, this coffee frother, it worked for nearly like 5-6 years. Just required a change of battery every now and then. It has two regular pencil batteries, and the second one got spoiled because I think we put it in the sink by mistake, and it stopped working. But it will go on for a long time, and it's really worth your money. So it's very useful for making salad dressings. Okay, it's also called a mini whisk. It's called a milk frother. It's called a coffee frother. In case you are, yeah, a hand. Yeah, so this the hand blender and this, the difference is that this is a very low power thing for, you know, literally doing in something as small as this. Hand blender, you can, if you're making, sometimes I'm making a salad for my whole community at some event or something, then I'll use the hand blender to make like a big batch of dressing, or I'll just put it in the blender and make it. So this is for 1 or 2 people. This is a nice thing to use, and it has only that much power. Don't try doing anything big with that. It's not going to work, because I see reviews on Amazon that say this refused to fluff up my omelette, but that's not the purpose of that one. So it's just for a cup of milk or a bit of a dressing. That's about it. Yeah. Then there's another thing called the ceramic grater, which I don't have here right now. So it's just this tiny ceramic saucer with some ridges on it, and you use it to grate garlic and stuff. It's again in the fancy list. It's definitely not a must-have thing. I think we are almost at time 4:25. So the last couple of things, spiralizer, it has its separate episode along with the salad spinner, which is why I'm not talking much about it here. But yeah, a spiralizer is this. You get different kinds. One is like the sharpener, which is again only for long vegetables, and that just doesn't go on for too long. I think either the vegetable breaks or it's not so sturdy. But the actual spiralizer is this long machine, and it has three different blades. One is for ribbons, one is for spirals, and one is for noodles. And you can even put round vegetables like potato, beetroot, onion, and all that, and even the long vegetables work in that. So I hope I can show you that in the next episode, along with the salad spinner. So the salad spinner and spiralizer are together. So that gives you lovely noodles. It makes kids interested in salads, and you can even let them do this thing. They find it exciting, and it's a nice way to eat a vegetable. And if instead of noodles, and you want to save the calories and the carbs from pasta or spaghetti or noodles, you can use vegetable noodles for like literally a fraction of the calories. Okay. That The spiralizer was brought by a friend from US at that time. I don't know if that same thing is available in India, but I'll surely look it up and try and share the link with you before the next episode so you can take a look. And the last thing on my list is the squeezy bottle, which is like, the plastic ketchup bottle where you can fill your dressing. And if you want to just do some fancy plating, again, totally in the fancy category, definitely not required. But, if you want to do a nice presentation, make it more Instagram friendly, for example, you can use that. Okay, so that was all about our list of essential salad making tools. I'm going to quickly do a recap. Okay, yeah, sorry, I missed the most important thing: a nice wooden serving bowl to serve your salad. Of course, this is not for one or two people, this is a big salad portion. I have two of these wooden bowls, and these big bowls, it's best you buy in bamboo or wood, because I do have a big ceramic one and it weighs a ton, and with your salad, high chances of dropping it or something. So wooden is best. It's light and it looks lovely on the table. So that's your serving bowl. So to recap, first you need a mixing bowl. Any steel big bowl or a vessel will do. And you need a bottle or a mixer jar to make your dressing. Then for making the dressing, you need things like a whisk. If you're just going to whisk the dressing in a bowl, this is good. Or a fork, or you can use one of these electric coffee frothers, which is reserved for making salad dressings. A citrus press, any kind, this one or your regular lime juice pressing. Your lime juice pressing thing, the steel or the ceramic or whichever one that you have. A few kinds of peelers, which is this Y peeler, julienne peelers. A regular chopping board and knife, that goes without saying. And anything fancy, this crinkle cutter is nice. A spiralizer, and a salad spinner, which I want to talk about in the next episode, which is on Friday at 4 o'clock. And that's about it. And colander, grill pan, steamer, that's in case you want to cook your vegetables. Then there was pepper grinder, and grater, like ginger, garlic, lime zest. You can use the grater. And a couple of things: a bottle to save up your salad dressing, and also glass boxes in case you're meal prepping, like you're cooking some beans, you're cooking some brown rice, and you're saving it in your fridge to make quick salads. Those glass boxes really help. And last but not the least, this is my first book, The Everyday Healthy Vegetarian, and it has over 25 salad recipes in the Eat the Rainbow section. And you can look it up on Amazon, and that's also on my list. Take a look, and there are different kinds of salads: cooked salads, raw salads, rainbow salads, lots of salads, like something like this one. So these kind of salads. So take a look, and that's my book. I'll share the link with you. So I mean, it's just that you don't have to follow a recipe. It's just inspirations, and you can make your own depending on what ingredients you have on hand, etc. So now I'm just quickly going to take a few questions. Okay. Thanks. True Matter says, how long will homemade salad dressing store in the fridge? I love your book and I often cook from it. Thank you, Rukmini. Homemade salad dressing, 3 to 4 days if you've added any fresh ingredients like grated garlic or ginger. But if you've added only dry ingredients like dry garlic powder or ginger powder, then a week. And don't worry if the oil and the water separates out. You can always shake it again and it's good to go. Okay. Sneha Chabria, you said so nice. Where from? I don't know what you're talking about. Please tell me, and I'm happy to respond to you. Unnati Pawar, I really love your food. Thank you so much. Nitya, does this replace a hand blender? I already answered your question. Is the spiralizer worth buying? I will definitely discuss in the next episode, which is on spiralizers and salad spinners. Okay. Um, where can Bohon Babe says, where can we get these peelers? Right now, since we're not going out shopping much, you can definitely try them on Amazon, or they're available in most supermarkets. Um, Veena Pradhan. So my, can you show the appliances? I did try to show a few, and I think you also asked me when is the next episode. So this series is happening on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 p.m. on my Instagram live. But all these videos will also be saved to my IGTV. So in case you miss it, you can catch it on that. Okay. Vinny, the not your poo, is the small grater similar to a microplane? Yes, a microplane works best for zesting and everything. But if you don't have that, you can use any small sized grater. I'm just going through all. Priyanka, I just made your apple cinnamon khichdi and I tagged you as well. Thank you so much. I'll take a look. I'm glad you tried it. Okay, I have this non-salad question, but it's a cute question, so I'm going to take it. Simantini Mihir, where do you get your bindis? I get them from Bombay. Because that's where I know where to get stuff. I haven't really found anything in Bangalore. Oh, I think I also got some from Commercial Street ages ago when I was there. That's how it feels like. Haven't been there in ages. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I was aiming to wrap it up a bit quicker than last time because the last session went on for a bit too long as per the feedback I got from friends. So I'm glad that I managed to finish it in half an hour today. And do check out the episode 1. Someone asked me, I missed that comment, but someone asked me where can I find episode 1. It's on my IGTV and it's also on my feed. Please go check it out. It's in much detail and a lot of basics are clarified there. So if you see that, the further episodes will be, it'll all be connected. So please go and watch that. And if you have any questions on that, you can always leave a comment on that episode and I'll answer you. All right. So the session ends here and I'll see you in episode 3 on Friday at 4 o'clock. So thank you all for joining in and have a good evening. Bye bye.